Ooh, attention all chocolate lovers. You're going to be happy about today's recipe. We're making a classic chocolate cake with Betty Ann Donegan and Stephanie Dietz. I guess I got to get a little dirty here. Teresa's going to be so mad she missed the chocolate. What have you got going on?
Well, this is an unusual cake in one respect because when you make the cake, you make the frosting at the same time.
Okay.
So Steph's going to tell you what she's done so far.
Okay, so in this bowl here, I have cream cheese chocolate frosting. Okay, it's the cream cheese, the butter, a little bit of vanilla, and then I put in some confectioner's sugar and beat that up until it was nice and fluffy. So I'm going to take 2 cups of this out, and that's going to be our frosting that we're going to save for later.
I'm going to lick that later, definitely.
Okay, but then once I get this out, what's left in the bowl is going to be the base for the cake, and I'm going to add a few more things into the bowl, and that'll be the cake batter. Okay, so you have everything all done at once, which is really nice.
Now this is the dry ingredients. There's a little bit of milk here, some eggs, and some butter, and she's going to add that. Okay.
All right, so we're going to hang on to that for later.
Oh, that looks so good right there.
And Steph's going to do that. I'm just going to grease the pans.
Okay.
I'm greasing the pans with a little bit of shortening. And then we're going to put some flour in here.
What's the big difference whether you use shortening or a spray-on type?
I don't use sprays.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I don't use sprays.
I'm sorry. Okay.
I don't like to inhale the fumes from the sprays.
I get you.
They're bad for you. I'm just going to put a little flour in here.
Nice.
And I'm using Crisco because if you use butter when you grease a pan, the water that's in the butter sometimes makes a little spot where the cake can stick. And this cake, chocolate cakes have a lot of sugar in them because chocolate is so bitter. So this way, at least you know the cake isn't going to stick if you do it like with Crisco.
Oh, and you know, the thing is, you can't go wrong with a chocolate cake, right?
Exactly.
Everybody loves
it. This would be a typical birthday cake.
Okay.
I mean, it's a wonderful cake to have for a birthday. So all I'm going to do is get this tapped all around like this. And that's it. Our pans are ready. Now, when Steph finishes making the cake, we're going to put it in here. But I have a cake done, and I'm going to frost it with this frosting that she just made. I'm going to put some, this is a crystal dish, so I don't want to get the frosting on the dish. I'm going to put 4 pieces of paper on here like this. And that protects the dish from any drops of frosting.
Is it just me, or is there a loud noise in the background?
Yeah, that's the machine.
That's the machine. Okay, I just thought it was me.
Now this is the cake. Now you see how flat this cake is?
Okay.
That's a good thing. You don't want doming, because doming is when the cake comes up to a point.
And they kind of split, right?
Well, it cracks sometimes, and then they either have to cut it off because you can't have the cake rock.
Right.
So if you can make a cake without doming, it's good, and I'm going to show you how to do that.
Okay. Well, you know, I have a cake maker at my home that usually does all this stuff for me, but I guess I could probably fake it here. Fake a cake.
Fake a
cake and bake with Steve. All right. I like that. Okay, you got conviction there.
So we're going to frost this.
Am I going to do anything? I mean, I feel like, you know, I feel like the helpless man in the kitchen here.
I'm not letting you touch this. Are you kidding me?
Oh, okay. I heard that before. You're not touching that. Get out of the kitchen. Oh, my God.
You want to take this off and put it on top?
Yep. Let me go.
Okay. There you go.
Okay. Put this
other way.
Oh. Okay. All right, right? Like that?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right.
Okay. All right, and I got it on my fingers. All right.
That's all right.
Don't worry about it. Nope,
okay, now we're just going to frost this. Now, you see I'm using an offset spatula?
Yeah.
It's not straight. It has a little bit of a bend in it. And that helps you to keep your fingers out of the soup when you're doing this, because when you start frosting, if you have a straight spatula, sometimes...
Oh, I think the camera was on me then when I was looking at my fingers. Okay. Oh, okay. Terrific. Now, I know I'm not going to touch the cake. That tastes so good.
Isn't that delicious?
Oh, my gosh. This is fantastic. Now, is this something that it's a good type of recipe to get? Let's say, you know, grandmas out there that have a 2-year-old trying to help them out in the kitchen. Is this something good for them to work with?
Yeah.
Good starter cake type of thing, not too complicated?
It's not too complicated. And the ingredients are simple. It's something that everybody has in the house. There's no unusual ingredients. It's just the cream cheese maybe, but other than that, it's a standard. And Steph's going to fill the pans now.
Laura, get back. I mean, already the crew is starting. They always come around when they see the chocolate. They said that Teresa actually just called because she heard about it. She was watching us online. Okay. Oh, my God.
See how nice this swirls? It's a typical birthday cake. I mean, people think of this, when people think of a birthday cake, they think of a cake that looks like this.
Chocolate with chocolate. And then you want chocolate, and maybe a little bit of chocolate to go with it.
And you can serve this with a little bit of ice cream if you want, which is nice.
Nice. Can't miss that. Vanilla ice cream or chocolate?
Vanilla ice cream.
Vanilla with that? Okay. Maybe a little whipped cream on there, too?
Yeah, maybe that's a good idea,
and some hot fudge on top of the chocolate. All right, so you can put the fudge on the chocolate. Maybe like, wow. So
We should have brought some milk.
I know. Now, you see what's nice about this? When you make this cake, the frosting is already done, so you don't have another thing to do.
Now, we just have a couple of minutes here, about 2 minutes or so to go. So before I want to know where she's at, what's going on with
Okay.
her.
So one of the things that we like to do when we put cake batter in is to pull it out from the center a little bit to prevent the cake from doming.
Doming is bad.
You've established it. You've told me 4 or 5 times not to dome.
When a cake domes, what happens is the last place for the cake to cook is going to be the middle.
Okay.
So what happens is the heat comes from the sides, and at the end, the only place the cake can rise is in the middle because everything else is dried out on the edges, and that's when you get the doming. But it's deep, so the cake has to cook completely in the middle before you can take it out of the oven, and then the edges get overdone.
Okay.
So this is a little trick that's a good idea. You can't do it with all cakes because some batter is going to just be too soft, and it's going to just make it level. But if you can, you always want to make a little bit of a well.
Okay.
And you always should let a cake sit in the pan for at least 5 minutes for the protein to set up. So because this is a tender cake, and if you took it out of the pan right away when it came out of the oven, it would crack.
How long does it have to sit about?
About 5 minutes usually.
5 minutes is
You just want to
cool?
give the protein time to stabilize so that it firms up a little bit. Because when you heat up protein, it goes all like jiggly loosey.
Am I gonna get to eat the cake or what?
Yes.
Part of the
yes.
deal is when you come on the show, I get to taste the cake. All
Okay,
right?
now watch. I'm just going to pull these
Because
papers out.
now we can have our cake and eat it too right here on Connecticut style.
I'm going to pull the papers out. See how the dish is
Yeah,
still
don't serve it
clean?
with the papers.
No.
Then the family will be all upset. Okay, move that out of the way. Oh, Teresa, eat your heart out. I'm having chocolate on chocolate on chocolate, baby. This is great.
See how nice it cuts?
All right, and by the way, you know, it is very simple to make this chocolate cake. I might even take a shot at it. And if you'd like the recipe, please go over and check it out, Connecticut Style. Go to WTNH.com, click on Connecticut Style, and you can find out more about this. I got to taste it. I'll let you know. TV, do TV bites, Steve. Don't put the whole cake in your mouth. That's very good.
Yeah.
Very good. How about some coffee? Got anything going on back there? I'm going to hang out with them for a while.